Welcome back, everyone. And today we are going with our last session of the day. And Nuno Arias will be sharing some valuable insights on Office 365 multi-factor authentication and the Microsoft Azure Active Directory Premium. So over to you, Nuno. You can share who you are and your introduction, and you can take it from here.
Okay, thank you. Thank you to be on this great event, the Stack Day for Pakistan. Just to introduce a little of myself. My name is Nuno Árias Silva. I'm from Lisbon, Portugal. I'm Solutions Architect Manager, Modern Workplace Lead at Inetum. I'm MVP and Office 365 Apps and Services, MCT Regional Lead, and have more than 40 certifications on Microsoft. My mainly day is to advise the customers, the organizations to be proactive to use what they need and to adopt new Microsoft technologies as they came out. I have more than 20 years working on IT. You have here my blog, my Twitter, and also my LinkedIn. Just to realize the agenda of this session, just a little introduction of multi-factor authentication for Office 365, then Office client features with multi-factor authentication, and then Microsoft Azure multi-factor authentication. Okay, the part of multi-factor authentication for Office 365. First of all, we need to understand the part of identity. It's needed in all organizations to unify your environment, to enable the users, and also to protect your data. This is most important, is to have the unified ID in your organization, and then to protect all of your data. If you use multi-factor authentication in all your services, you at least 99% or more, you are mostly protected based on the identity. There are two kinds of identity for Microsoft. The Microsoft account, normally for the person accounts, it's Xbox, the OneDrive personal, the Outlook.com, and so on. And also from Azure, that is the base of identity from services like Intune, Office 365, Dynamics, and so on. This is your organization or company account. And we have different kind of identity models on the organizations. If you don't have no on-premises servers, you are just on cloud identity. Here, you just have all the services on the cloud. But you have on-premises Active Directory, mostly are used the directory sync with password sync, that you can leverage your identity from on-premises to the cloud with the same ID, with the same password. And then we have the federated identity. You can have two or other servers depending the high availability, then your authentication will be on premises and not on cloud. It's depending your needs. At the beginning of the Office 365, that was called BPOS, to the organization, it was only available the federated identity. Then Microsoft has created this solution to synchronize the password. All the password tentatives are directly from Microsoft, and then you are more protected directly on the cloud. To understand where can you log in, Microsoft now has more than 54 regions, more than 100 Ks of fiber and subsea cable, and more than 130 edge sites. This is where you are logging within Microsoft. When you are going to log into a service, you are going through these edge sites. Then will pass through your data center. It's to be the fastest way to you log in and to be protected. Okay, it's the biggest location of Microsoft. Then to understand a little more about the client features with multi-factor authentications within Office. We'll have multi-factor authentications for Office 365. And what it is. Multi-factor authentications, there is multiple factors that are required for signing. Then you can use the familiar consumer simple block, the password compromise from another country to address regulation compliance and high-risk user scenarios. For example, you can use strong authentication using two-factor authentications. You can have a password or PIN, you have a phone or hardware token, and fingerprint, geometry, retinal, and other biometric that you can use. Then you can use types of identity to better protect yourself and to protect your organization. For example, you can understand more using, if you are now using this kind of authentications or certificates or smart cards or based authentications, but it always depends the part that you are configured, the multi-factor that your organization needs or your organization want. Okay. Okay. Then to understand more what is the part of multi-factor authentication from Microsoft. It was powered by Phone Factor, okay? It was acquired from Microsoft in 2012. Then it was trusted by thousands of enterprises to authenticate employees, customers, and also partner access. It will secure the applications and identities in the cloud and also on premises. And now it's included in Office 365 within all services for signing users at no additional costs. Okay, there are some features that are not available, but also you can extend to admins. Admins can now enable all sign-in users for multi-factor authentication. If you are using any plans, any plans from Microsoft you will have multi-factor authentication using Microsoft Authenticator app. Okay, does not replicate Azure multi-factor authentication that has more features. Then you can use enterprise authentications using any phone. You can use the mobile apps that is available to every plans. You can have the push notification, one-time password token. You also have phone calls that Microsoft will call you, and also text message. But if you want these two phone calls and text message, you will need to have a higher plan. Okay? To understand, you can change your notifications. What are your preferred notifications? What is the authentication, the app, and so on. I will show over there during the demo. Also, this is a feature that will be deprecated in Microsoft. It was to enable multi-factor authentications to applications that doesn't has the feature to have a more secure way to you connect and use multi-factor authentication to these applications. Then you will have specific scenarios. Within your scenarios, we'll have the federated users, just need for authentications for Office 365. You can use multi-factor authentications for other scenarios. You will have hybrid or will have another kind of needs in your organization, or you can use multi-factor authentication from Azure to authenticate your firewall and so on. And also you can create a service account administrator to control all these kind of accesses. Okay, to understand more the client features within multi-factor authentications within Office. Okay, you will need at least, now it's almost out of support, Office 2013 clients to support multi-factor authentications, no need for app passwords. You can authenticate in the web browser, then you can authenticate Office clients, Outlook, Skype for Business on-prem. You can use multi-factor authentications also. All the Office applications, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, PowerShell, OneDrive, and also Microsoft Teams. The clients will also support federated identity with SAML protocol, and for United States, DoD Common Access Card, and to Federal Person Identity Verification Card in US. And about Office multi-factor authentication. This is built on top of Active Directory authentications. ADAL implements a simple OAuth protocol that uses Azure AD. Now it's Android AD, but it's completely rebranded brand. And also you can use ADFES 3.0. Office does OAuth to those endpoints. Those endpoints implements a number of protocols. You can also use IDPs, XML, WSFed, and you also have Azure Active Directory and IDF issues based on results that use against its workloads. And how does all this work? Okay. First of all, the Office makes a request to a services that supports new MFA workflow. Then you have here at HTTP layer, it will ask the requests. Then the service instructs Office to go and to speak simple standards protocol just to start authentications, then going to the library to launch a web browser to go to the login page. After that, it will be in your Azure Active Directory to federate and sign in using XML, WSFed, etc. And after that, it validates that you are authenticated, then that where the magic will happen. And after this, it will have the token that you are authenticated and comes back to Office 365 to authorize that that user is authenticated. Okay? That is the whole process at the end. And about Microsoft Azure multi-factor authentication. Microsoft Azure multi-factor authentication. The question is, do I need MFR for Office 365 or Microsoft Azure? Depends on your needs. It's all included in your all services within Office 365. But remember, not all services from Microsoft are available from all the plans of Office 365. Then you may also need some advanced features that are only available on Azure Active Directory Premium P1 or P2. There are different plans. And also you have the advanced features, the hybrid architectures, then you can use the VPN server of your choice to connect and using multi-factor authentications. That's the main difference for all these scenarios. It requires a subscription depending on your needs, and you can use the base to reduce your exposure without additional costs. Okay? Just a little part of features. Okay? For example, the multi-factor for Office 365. You can use these features depending on your plan, okay? And also to Azure multi-factor authentication, you have more features available. That, remember, depending on your needs, your users that are needed to be more protected, please use a higher plan for multi-factor authentications to protect them. Okay? And how all this works to understand. When a user signs in from any device using the username and passwords, you can use Radius out loud, and you can also have your authentications and go through the authentication processes to Microsoft. Then it will give you access to different kind of services, the cloud apps, and within your Azure Active Directory. You can use several brands of servers. And how can you enable? You can go to Azure, multi-factor authentications, and also you have the service settings. And how can we manage? Okay, we have here, for example, these few examples. The fraud alert allow users to submit fraud alerts, automatically block users who report fraud. For example, you can have greetings, and you also can customize the caller ID to your end users and give the end users, okay, if someone calls from this caller ID, it's from Microsoft. Just to realize, you can choose a number to deliver to the users, okay? And number of PIN attempts per call and so on. And to understand more, you have here some summary. Some are included, users are enabled and then can be enforced. This is the best way to accomplish your goal. User can create a passwords, at least Office 2013 clients. The tenants can be connected to Azure using the same ID and has additional features. Now we can see, for example, the updated authentication that are available now. Introducing to adult-based authentication. Okay, the adult-based authentications can enable 2013 clients to engage the browser-based authentications known as passive authentications, where are the users are available. Okay, to understand a little more of this, you can use your identity. You can use the further identity protection and your Azure Active Directory and Office 365. You can use Office browser, and to understand this, you can use the part of the authentication within your organization. It's available a few years ago. Then we'll have here all the process that is leveraged to you. Okay? Here you will have some support links. The Azure multi-factor authentication, how to secure access to cloud services for administrators, what is Azure Active Directory, and how to set that. Okay? And now let's see here a demo. Okay? Let's open here a browser. Okay. I will have here, I'm going through Office, just go through office.com, and I will show different options to log in. Okay. If I go here to sign in, I will put my email. Okay. And when I click next, I will show you a feature that is called passwordless authentication. As you can see, doesn't ask my password. Okay. I can open my Authenticator app to enter the number that is shown here, and also have other ways to sign in. Okay, I can sign in using face, fingerprint, PIN, or security key. I have the approve request, that is my main authentication, and I also can use my password. For example, if I use my password, I will put here my password. Okay, it's not correct because it's me another type of authentication. I can use the login, for example, my iPhone, and also I can use the security key. I have here the different ways I can use it. I use, for example, the iPhone. It will give me a code to connect, but I can use, for example, a security key. A security key is a FIDO key. Okay. Now it asks me to connect my key that is here. This is a FIDO key. It has my fingerprint over here. This is USB type C, and I'll also have here another key that is USB type A. Okay? For example, if I go through here, let me just in the computer, I will put my key, and as you can see, it's already, it gives me, okay, gonna touch your key, and I have login with just my fingerprint, okay? Then I can switch over, then I will go do the process again to see the other options, okay? Okay, now I will choose another way to sign in, the Authenticator app, okay? It's funny because I canceled the other way. My passport again because now Microsoft are trying to understand if I'm not trying to use it. Okay, now I have here all my other ways to authenticate. Okay, I can use the validation code that is on the application, or I can use the app that is available to everyone. Okay, now it asks me to authenticate and put this number. And as you can see, it will show my location, okay? I can enable this independent to understand if the login is based on my location. Because if you receive something or some authentication different from where you are, it could be some problem, okay? Then, and look at it, okay? Perfect. Then if I go, for example, to Azure, then I'm already authenticated and all these are completely connected, okay? And let's go to see some configurations. Just do some zoom here, okay? And if I go through here, security, then I can have here all the processes that I can configure. For example, authentication methods that we can configure. As you can see here, the FIDO keys, okay? When I have done the login with the key, it was here a policy that is enabled by here, okay? And I can use the login with my FIDO keys. The authenticated to all users, the short message, hardware tokens, third-party voice calls, and also all the process. For example, I can go through here, place a phone call to a user, then approve it. Okay? It's not usable at first factor. And I can enable all users. And for example, I can enable this for the office phone. And then it's saved. Also, I can use certificate based authentication. Okay, it's another process, and also here the FIDO keys. Okay, allow self-service setup. This will allow user to configure all the process. I will show how the end users can configure the key. You just deliver the key to the end user and they can use it. Okay. If I go through my Office account and if I go through here my account, okay, within here my account, I will go through here the part of the security information, and we will have here I can here, as you can see, to add a signing method. And here I will choose a security key. Then I just click add, and it's a USB device, NFC device. If I can choose this, okay. Next, to insert the USB port, then touch the button or sensor. For example, this device, you can set up the fingerprints on your home, and the fingerprints, it's just on that key. It's no else ever there, okay? Then you can choose, for example, another method, your Office phone. Then I click here and I can put here an Office phone to do the authentication. Okay. You also have here your devices that are enabled, and you can hear when you go to the security info what is which method notification that is your preferred notification. Okay, I now have changed it to Microsoft Authenticated. Okay, but for example, if I go through here and I prefer, okay, just go to do a phone call to this one. Okay, this is my default method now, and I will go to close this again. Then I create another session. So I'm going to directly to Azure. That is, then I click next. Use the password. So choose another method, and I can use to call, and it's calling from that ID that I assume. I just do Hazard. I just do the pound key, okay, and it's successful login. Okay, and because my phone couldn't have internet, but I will have the phone. Okay. Then to continue to show some other configurations that are available to you. Let's go again to the security. Okay. we were here, then you have all the methods that you can configure. Also, you can configure password protection. Password protection, it's the way that you can protect your environment types of passwords. Okay, let's see the options. It's not loading, just right here again. Okay, you can use the logout threshold, duration seconds. You can use custom banned passwords. You can create here a list that are easy. And you can also use password protections for Windows Server. Okay, and you can enforce it. What this will do? I have my environment connected within an Active Directory, and I have this enabled. And if all these are connected, I have a protection of password in both environments. Okay, and I have enforced it. Okay. Also, you have the registration campaign. The registration campaign, I have this from Microsoft Manage and to use all users the authentication. I can also change this. Okay, I will manage this and I can select to be enabled, the number of days that is allowed, the number of snooze and excluded users and groups. Okay, you can exclude groups from there. Okay, and then here we'll have authentication strengths. As you can see, I doesn't have here new policy here yet directly, but authentication strengths, you can use Windows Hello, password keys, the FIDOS keys, certificate based, and all over that you can choose. Also, I can configure my own. Okay, I can new and I can use, okay, I just use this one. Okay, it's not available another user. It's not available multi-factor authentication. And you are not enabled, as you can see. I must enable. Okay, if I can do this, okay, then I can create, and I create my custom based storage. Okay, like I can change, I can go through here to duplicate or delete or whatever. And also, you can have here that report the suspicious activity. Also, again, could be Microsoft Manage, or you can change this. Okay, the system prefer multi-factor authentications. You can also choose whatever you want to include or to exclude. Okay, then also you can see here all the activity about type of the mobiles, the type of authentications, and registration details that user that is capable or not, and registration when visit events. As you can see, I have do this for business registration. Okay, some bulk operations results. Okay. Then I can go back here, the part of security, and we have here the part of the authentications methods. Then if I go through here, the multi-factor authentications, you can have here the authentication accounts to lock out and so on, to block or to unblock users, the fraud alerts, to submit what is the number that you can digit on your phone, the notifications, how out tokens you can do here through all out tokens, that phone call settings that you can change that number, okay? And you can use this till this date. Now it's deprecated, and also if you have a server, now it's deprecated, and the activity report have within your organization. Then also I have here other thing that is named locations. Okay, I have here, for example, all compliant network locations. For example, you can configure here all network locations. I have here, for example, Portugal, that I can have here the Portugal that is here enable this country, and also I have here a blocked countries. Okay, I have here a blocked countries that never can log in within my tenant. I will show how we can configure it. And also I have the multi-factor authentications of our IPs. As you can see, I can do here. I don't have any trusted IPs that where I do not trust any IP to skip authentication requests. Okay, that is the best configuration. Never trust, because if you enable your public IP address from your organization, you are opening the authentication from inside of your organization within the multi-factor authentication. Okay. And now also have here the risky users. If I have anyone, it will show here the risk workload identities, the risky sign-ins that I can have in the last 7 days, some risky detections. If there was some risky detections, will show up here. Okay. And I will have here also my identity secure score. What is my score? Okay, it's very high. Okay, as you can see, typical company within 1,000 normally are in 42%. My tenant is 60. Okay, and I can increment that. Clear text credentials, remove dormant accounts, sensitive groups, an key account, VPN integration, and so on. That will be my configurations for my tenant to understand my score history. Okay. Then also I have the verified ID. The verified ID, the fast remote onboarding for secure access. I can also have here the credentials to set up this device, the organization, and I can go through here the process, go start, okay, and choose my domain, and I do save. I will set up my verified ID from this organization, okay? This may take up 1 minute. Let's wait. Just a few seconds, then I will continue. Later, let's come here to the security again to show another configurations that are very useful in your organization. Okay. Let's go through here. Security again. Then you will have conditional access. Okay. Conditional access, it's where you configure the best way to protect yourself. You have here the main location that I have shown before. The terms of use, if you have VPN connectivity, authentication contexts, then configure the authentication context, for example, trusted locations and so on. The authentication strengths that I have shown you before, and I have here my insights and reporting to understand the conditional access that you can see the user success failure not applied, that failure it comes from here because I have failed that authentication, correct? And you can see here my policies. I have here, for example, this policy that shows what countries, what users are, all users, okay? I have here another user, and what is the conditional? One location where the blocked countries, what will do? Block access, okay? It always block access from that countries, okay? This is the way that if you have users that never go to that countries, that you can choose in your list, please configure this one, okay? Then I can go through here and to show how to protect better the MFA. You can enforce this. Who are the users? You can have all the users and all the cloud hubs, okay? And I just choose one control and grant access, but require multi-factor authentication. First of all, I have the first one that has blocked countries. Then the other one that if you are in countries, you can go, but it's enforced multi-factor authentication. Okay? And it's done. Your credentials, as you can see, I go through here, my verified ID, and you can have here a verified employee, and also I can go through here and create a validation card. Okay, that is a new feature. Okay. Questions so far?
I'm just looking to the question and answer and don't find any questions asked so far. And let me ask again that if you have any questions, you can paste in the question and answer session. And Nuno, thank you so much for this valuable session. This was one of the very important topics, especially for the M365 tenant holders. And the session recording will also be uploaded to our Tech Day YouTube channel. So if anyone have any queries or missed anything, they can reach out there. And Nuno's contact details are also listed on the screen. You can also reach out to him if you need any further queries. And I don't see any questions so far. Yeah. So thank you so much.
Yeah. My Twitter, my LinkedIn, you can connect me.
Hopefully everyone understands that. That's why they don't have any questions.
And thank you again to be here at Tech Day Pakistan. I think you will have another great sessions to view after this one. And thank you.
I remember that I have seen that all the sessions, and actually we only have to select one, but every session was very valuable. Maybe we reach out to you for more sessions in future.